Blog Talk Radio.
0.
Minions, and welcome to The Balance. My name is Tom Marquis. I'm on loan from God for the next 2 hours. You will pay homage to me. I will guide you through this crazy world of sports, and it cannot get any crazier than it does this time of year. Come on, can we all agree that this is the third Christmas? You've got Christmas, you've got the Indianapolis 500, and you've got March Madness, and we've been opening up presents since noon on Thursday, and we're going to continue to open them up all weekend long, next weekend, and even the following weekend. It is called March Madness for a reason. We're going to break down all of the games, all of the scenarios. We're standing by for Matthew Embry of WSBT in South Bend is going to help us break down these games, as well as Indy Car. Tyson Lautenschlager from up in Toronto, Canada, gives us a call. We're going to be breaking down the Indy Car race in Austin at the Formula One track. First time they've been there. Exciting to see how that's going to pan out. And yes, we get to say the Indianapolis 500 one more time as we get moving closer to that infamous date in the month of May. Also at the top of the next hour, I'm sorry, I'm getting my hours all confused. I'm dazed and confused. Steve Wilson, editor-in-chief of Speedway Digest, joins us and helps us break down some NASCAR action. And then we'll back into the madness with Mo from the BS Sports Show. He joins us, and we're going to be breaking down today's action as well. So stick around. It's about to get good right here on the Balance Radio Network. 917-889-8516 is my digits. We'll be right back.
Tonight, I just want to take you away. Blow your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your move.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything. Welcome back to the Balance. My name is Marquis, Presidente. My minions, welcome aboard. It is March Madness time. Joining us now is we're just going to call him our official Balance contributor because he talks to us about college football, college basketball, Indy Car, sometimes some NASCAR, what have you. Matthew Embry, WSBT up in South Bend. How is you, sir?
Still waking up. Late shift last night. I think the NCAA radio broadcast didn't end until try 2 a.m. This morning.
Hey, I tell you what, that's what it's all about. March Madness.
I'm lying down in bed as we speak right now, trying to get an extra sleep in before my shift later this morning.
TMI, bro. TMI. But thank you for taking some time to give us a call. Hey, first of all, we have to publicly shame you for not joining the official Balance bracket group, but that's okay. How are your brackets doing, sir?
I picked the two 12-game winners. I picked the one that didn't go the way. I picked New Mexico State. I didn't pick the Liberty win. Didn't pick UC Irvine. All my teams have stayed intact, but more importantly, though, right now at this point, what we saw, I think, yesterday, I think the question has to be asked, are the ACC teams vulnerable? Because the first time in history of the NCAA tournament, according to Jason Horowitz of Westwood One, that two teams, 2 1 seeds, have trailed at the half in the same day in an NCAA tournament game to a 16 seed. Now, granted, I don't think that's a disastrous thing because for instance, North Carolina in 1997, the same team that trailed to, my memory right here, Iona yesterday, did the same thing against Fairfield in 97, came back, won that game, and got to the Final Four before they lost to eventual champion Arizona. So there has been precedent of this. The team's bouncing back, but I got to say, looking ahead to games North Carolina, Washington, Duke, UCF, and Virginia, Oklahoma on Sunday, I think you have 3 ACC teams that are certainly vulnerable and possibly could be in the way of an upset coming up Sunday afternoon or evening.
Well, let's talk about some of the big upsets that we saw and the upsets that almost happened that didn't happen, and certainly ones that we thought, whoa, that's a little bit too close for comfort. We'll start up in your neck of the woods. Michigan State, Tom Izzo pulling a Bobby Knight. Totally upset with his freshman, but nonetheless still pulled off a win. That was a little bit too close for comfort. How do they bounce back today?
Well, it shows that the Missouri Valley can certainly get up for the tournament. I mean, prior to that loss Bradley suffered to Michigan State, I think that the last several tournaments they were 9-0 in first-round games. So certainly you knew it's going to be a factor. And be interested to see, though, what kind of output he gets from a Minnesota team that they handily beat in the Big Ten tournament a weekend ago in Chicago. It should be very interesting to see how they bounce back. I don't think they will lose this game to Minnesota, a team that came on strong late, but I think is still a step behind the top teams in the Big Ten. But that'll be an interesting game to see how they bounce back tonight, especially for the Spartans, because if they have another lackluster performance, I think they are certainly vulnerable against a team like Maryland or LSU, whoever advances out of that game in Jacksonville, the first game out of the blocks today.
Well, it's going to be exciting as we get into today's action. I think things are going to start weeding themselves out, if you will, and we're going to continue this conversation till till 9:30 here, local time here, and then we're going to be joined by Tyson Lautenschlager as well. We'll be talking some Indy Car and then some NASCAR, and then back into the March Madness. So let's try to get through these. We'll start over in on the left side of your bracket, if you will, or the whatever title you want to give it, but the left side of your bracket with Duke. We'll start with Duke yesterday. Obviously, two Duke freshmen making sure that Duke wasn't a 16-1 upset. But let's talk about what we saw at the beginning of that game. I was never really worried, but there was some double takes when I'm looking at this game last night. Duke started off really slow. Now that's okay when you got a team team like North Dakota State, but North Dakota State gave them everything they had and almost took them down. I don't believe for a minute that Duke is unstoppable, although in one of my brackets I do have them going all the way to be the winner just because, hey, it's the cool thing to do. But now they face UCF. UCF really had a good game against VCU. You know, one could say UCF could take Duke down, but nonetheless, if my bracket holds in place, my number one bracket, which by the way, let me selfless plug, I'm number one in the balance bracket group. But if my bracket stays intact, Duke will be meeting Virginia Tech, and by all means, Virginia Tech can beat Duke. So let's talk a little bit about what we saw. Did we see some warning signs or some things to come with Duke here in the tournament?
Well, I think we made it clear Duke is not a perimeter team because North Dakota State played zone defense against them, and Duke had their trouble hitting the outside shot. I'm going to be very curious to see how Duke gets inside against UCF's 7'6" center, Taco Fall. Be very interesting to see. Now, granted, he's not a mobile center like some of the other taller players we see, like, for instance, Matt Harms, for instance, for Purdue. But it's going to be a factor right now, and the other thing I also saw is I'm not so sure Zion Williamson is back to 100%. It looked like he was still favoring his left leg in that first half at least from the game parts of the game that I saw. So I think Duke will find a way to win this game, but they will have their problems with UCF tomorrow afternoon.
Well, absolutely. And you got to look at, if you looked at the beginning of the game with Duke, I mean, Zion came out on one of those little wheeler things, where you keep your leg propped up and you will. And that tells you he's not to 100% where he's at. Here is because of my know-it-all knowledge that I have, I picked the upset with Liberty over Mississippi State. Liberty wins, and obviously they go against Virginia Tech, which is going to be a handful for them. Obviously not getting past that point, but let's talk a little bit about the win Liberty got over Mississippi State.
It's a mix of Liberty getting strong late, but I think Mississippi State gave that game away. They had the game in control. They got very careless with the basketball. Liberty made some key shots down the stretch, and luck rode with them in that last little bit. But I think that lost game is more on Mississippi State giving the game away than Liberty winning it. Now, granted, I think they're going to have another test against Virginia Tech, which I think they could certainly win, but they're going to need to do a little more in terms of trying to win the game as opposed to what happened last night if they're going to find a way to get by the Hokies.
Well, here's the problem. If they do get by the Hokies, I don't see there's any way they can get past Duke. So that kind of will make the road a little bit easier for the Blue Devils. Let's talk about this Maryland-Belmont game. I was one that chose Maryland in one of my brackets. the one that I'm superior in. But other brackets, I chose Belmont for a very good reason.